Welcome, everyone. Happy Monday. It's Versus on a Monday. Today, Snow White is here. The box office receipts are here, or what little box office exists. We have our panel ready to fight, ready to discuss the fallout from this will be the biggest disaster of this year, but the year's not over. Plus your chat comments and questions. Let's go. Let's get things started. Start the show. Are you ready? Hey, everybody. Happy Monday. We've got maybe some people joining us late. I'm going to say Robert Meyer Burnett might be a little late. It's okay.
It's his birthday. He can slack off. It's all right.
It's his birthday. He's allowed to do that. But everyone, introduce yourselves, starting with Verbal Riot.
How's it going, guys? Dante from Verbal Riot, and I'm ready to talk about this horrible movie.
Hi, I am Stephanie with my nerdy home. It took me 3 days to put my Snow White review out because I was falling asleep, much like I was in the movie. So, yeah, looking forward to it.
Thought I could avoid Snow White, and then my super chatters hit $1,000 goal. So now I have to see Snow White. So thank you, you masochists.
Oh, man, I love the audience that sends everybody out to see these rotten movies, man. It's too funny. Shout out to everybody. What's up, Derek Anderson, the DA? Can't wait to talk about this. Should be a lot of fun, man.
Alan Hain, Film Threat. America has taste. Man to woman, woman to man, penis to vagina.
Penis to vagina?
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 That's a great duet.
Penis to vagina.
Wow.
You and Badger doing that duet, I can't get enough. I cannot
Alan.
get enough. Oh my God. A quick reminder, Film Threat is a sponsor of the Credo 23 Film Festival. That's this weekend. And Alan and I both, I'll be doing a panel at WonderCon Friday night. So look for Film Threat live from the floor of WonderCon. Then the next day, Credo 23 Film Festival. That's Justine Bateman's Film Festival. It's a non-AI film festival. So please join us. Go to credo23filmfest.com. This is your reminder. So, but let's get into it. I'm looking for comments. We don't see it. Another last minute reminder here to support Film Threat. Go to shop.filmthreat.com. You can get the shirt I'm wearing, the Film Threat Cinerama Dome inspired shirt. You can check out our superhero style shirts, everything from Superman to Fantastic Four, Batman, among others. So go to shop.filmthreat.com. Alan, did I forget anything?
No. That's
Well,
everything.
there you go. That's everything. Few people may join us late, but that's cool. It's a Monday after. Was it a holiday weekend, or did I dream that?
No, that was last week.
That was last week. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So let's go. Let's talk box office. Alan, if you have the box office, throw that up there if you would. It's not looking good.
Robert almost had me convinced. He almost had me convinced. Like, it's a Disney movie. It's a Disney movie, and just the families, they don't pay attention to anything. They'll just take them to Snow White.
Nope.
It's going to be 500 million plus.
Let's look at this.
You should have took his bet, man. You should have took his bet.
You should have taken that bet.
Oh, yeah. You should have.
He did.
I know.
He did have $100
Yeah,
bet.
$100
Yep.
right here.
He said it, man.
Here are the final receipts. Disney's Snow White at number one. And God, was it you, Steph? I watched so many reviews of Snow White from people I love, like everyone here. And people, it's not called Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. It's just Snow White.
Yeah, it's just Snow White.
Odd. But it's not
Disney's Snow White.
correct. It's number one with 43 million at the box office, below estimates. Very sad. Not surprised. And
International kind of balancing it off, bring it to a total of 86 million. Or 80,
yeah, under 100 million worldwide. If you go to the back to the summary of the top 10, I'll go through the top 10 really quick and then we'll comment. It's number 2 was Black Bag, a movie that I enjoyed. It's decent. The number 2 movie was 4.2 million. This is not good, folks. Captain America sticking in there, Brave New World at number 3 with 4.1 million. Novocaine, number 4, 3.6 million. Number 5, Mickey 17, 3.6 million. The Alto Knights, the Robert De Niro, it stars Robert De Niro and Robert De Niro. Number 6, 3.1 million. Number 7, Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. Alan and I disagreed on that. I enjoyed it. 1.8 million. The Monkey at number 8, 1.5 million. 9, Dogman. Dogman, by the way, the number 2 highest grossing movie of 2025 is Dogman with 1.4 million. Paddington in Peru at number 10, 1.3. This is sad overall for the box office.
Who's the studio behind Dogman?
It's Universal.
Okay.
It's not a bad movie. It's a fine children's film, cartoon. Ricky Gervais does a voice of a fish. It's fine. But that's the number 2 movie this year next to, just below Captain America Brave New World. I am afraid for the box office. I had held out hope that there might be a lot of walk-up business for Snow White, people that don't buy advance tickets. They walk in, they purchase a ticket right before the movie. That didn't happen. The real tell will be this. The real tell will be second weekend for Snow White. So we will revisit this topic because it was pointed out to me that Mufasa did not do great its first weekend. Similar numbers. Yet it's huge. It's worth 700 million now. It's
Yeah,
still
but the Marvels opened at over 100 million, and they're like, oh look, it's the number 1 movie. It's like, yeah, but wasn't Novocaine with 8 million the number 1 movie just
right?
So what is it competing against? Not much.
Yeah, it's not competing against anything.
Yeah.
That's
What
the
are your
problem.
thoughts about this? Looking at the lay of the land, and what's very sad for me as someone who loves to go to the movies every week, I see almost everything that plays in theaters, including indies. Alan is very similar to myself. He prefers pizza. I'm a popcorn guy. It's okay. It's okay.
Pizza
different
good.
taste.
Yeah, it's weird.
I will say this though. I don't think Mufasa had the same negativity going into it as much as Snow White did.
Right.
I think Mufasa might be a bad movie, but I think it's just a bad movie because it's a bad movie, right? Like there was no controversy, there was no issues behind it, and as far as we know, there probably wasn't a lot of reshoots for this movie either. So I think Mufasa is in a very different bag than Snow White. I think Snow White's in trouble. I don't see this having a good second week.
Yeah, I see them as somewhat similar in the sense of I think they both hit the same target audience. Maybe one more for boys.
Yeah, but there was a big
They're
difference, Alan, between these two.
Sorry.
Animals and
No, but I'm making the comparison versus like the Marvels, which wasn't exactly meant for children.
Right.
Oh, fair enough.
I mean, this one, if you look at the big Marvel Disney failures, you're looking at Lightyear, you're looking at Strange World. The issue that came up with all 3 of these movies is it safe? And I'm wondering if the communist kind of message in Snow White it made it unsafe for parents to take their kids to see it.
I heard people say that, but I mean, nobody really knows what's in a movie until they go and watch it. These people just didn't go watch Snow White,
Right.
So they came in immediately like, this is a film I have no interest in watching, regardless of what's in it. Now, after the movie comes out, and if it's, then we start hearing all the buzz and everything about the film, and then you start hearing what's in it. That's when you can kind of say, oh, these themes are keeping me out of the movie. But overall, I think the controversies, the trailers didn't look so hot. Everything about Zegler and Gal Gadot and people just, rejecting these actresses. And these are the headliners. These are the main actors. These aren't side, characters. These are the main two characters. I think that was the main thing. And above all of that, the box office is just doing terrible right now. So, you don't have that momentum. I say like going to movies is a momentum thing. Like when you have one good movie leading into the next good movie, leading into the next good movie. Now everybody's in the habit of going to movies instead of just saying, I can wait. This doesn't seem really important. I mean, I might like it, but you know what? Like I did this last night. I was calculating what would it take for three of my friends, me and two buddies, to go to the movies, without any A-list, without any, special perks. And I added it up and we kind of calculated it on the AMC site. It was over $110 for three homies just to go chill at the movies for the night, if that's what we're going to do. And I was like, okay, I can bring $20 of pizza. I can have my other friend get the beer. And then you're talking about an evening of entertainment for $110. That's way too much money. So people are not going to go see movies, just in general. Forget, Snow White. Mickey 17, which I hear is not a terrible movie. I saw Novocaine. I thought Novocaine was okay.
Ooh,
but
before we move on,
I just think it's not a great. I think there's just not a lot of great content right now and product out there for movie going. For the casual movie going audience. So people are just going to the movies. And it's not bleeding into the next movie, so on and so forth.
Someone in the chat was like, "How come people are questioning the budget of Captain America, but we're not questioning the budget of this?" We are.
Are they
Oh,
crazy?
absolutely.
The 270 budget is
That's all
far
we're
higher
talking
than
about.
that.
Yeah.
Higher than that.
It's over 300 easy.
They have to
Easily
make $1
over
billion
300,
to
probably
break
closer to 4.
even. To break even.
Yeah.
Well, the trades are having a field day with these headlines here. I love this. Box office. Snow White leads with sleepy 43 million.
I get it.
The money was bashful.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know what?
this-
Oh, screw them, because before this, they were completely hyping this movie up. I don't want to hear anything from Variety, man. Like they're full of shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but look at
They really
look at all these alt-right publications here. Let me how do I switch to me?
All they've done is hype this movie up for the past like.
Go ahead and share it,
couple
Alan.
months.
Yeah, I'm trying to. It won't let me.
It won't let you share it unless you remove what's already being shared.
Okay, here you got to remove
Yeah.
you. Okay, here we go. I got it.
Okay,
All right,
it's
so
good.
look at these alt-right publications that hated it. Vanity Fair, Wall Street Journal, New York Times,
New York
Associated
Times.
Press.
Known alt-right pipelines. Yes.
I mean, ultimately,
Yeah, it's not about.
it's
It's sometimes a bad movie. It's just a bad movie.
Yeah.
It's just a bad movie. There's nothing controversial about this in terms of the quality of the film. It's just a bad time at the movies. Period. Point blank. There's nothing more to say about it. I think the bigger controversy that surrounds this is what is Disney, or what the bigger conversation is, what does Disney do now going forward with all of these, remakes? Are they going to pull the plug? Is this the last one? I know we got Lilo and Stitch coming up, but is this the last one, or
No,
are they
they're
going to keep digging
not.
into
They're
the
not gonna
vault?
pull the plug.
They're not going to pull the plug,
at
man,
all.
because Lilo and Stitch is going to do $1 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the reason it'll do $1 billion is because it will follow the what everyone loved about the first movie, the original movie.
Mhm.
Yeah, but
Versus
what movie
this
is
one.
left? Princess and the Frog? They've done
Yeah,
all that.
actually.
Well, there's
They still have Princess and the Frog. They still have Tangled. They still have
Hercules
Moana.
is
I mean, not Moana. Well, Moana is coming up too, as well as a Disney remake. They can do a live action
Pocahontas,
Frozen.
right?
They have, they
Pocahontas.
still have.
Hey, and
plenty of
guess what? The
live
Princess and the
action.
Frog, they can actually cast like black people, and it's not a DEI situation, right? Like, they can actually make a black
Zendaya.
movie, right?
Zendaya. Watch.
Yeah.
But
You know,
will
I
they?
had a lot going against it to begin with, right? Like people were against Rachel Zegler. Rachel Zegler insulted half of America. The leftists don't like Gal Gadot.
I dare them to do Hunchback of Notre Dame. Yes, I do actually dare them to do that.
I want
Oh.
to do it. Or
Well, they
Tarzan.
cast
No, they already did
someone
Tarzan.
who is a hunchback.
Bring it.
Do it.
Yes.
Do it.
Cowards.
I think
Um,
Peter Dinklage will do it.
Yeah, Peter Dinklage not hiring like real actors to play the dwarves. Everything that they pissed off Disney fans with Rachel Zegler, saying how they're going to change the story. So why do real actual Disney fans want to go watch a whole retelling of Snow White when it's not going to be the original classic? Like there was so much going against this movie to begin with that I think turned a lot of people off that. And movies in general aren't doing so well, because streaming has like really ruined the movie experience, movie going experience. Like people are like, well, I'm not going to go see a mid movie and waste my money. I'll just wait for it to be on streaming. So that will, tell people like, oh, I'll just wait for this movie to be on streaming and maybe watch it then. So Disney can celebrate and post on Twitter like this is the #1 movie in the world, while their theaters are completely empty in Snow White showings. And they can be celebrating right now, but there's nothing going against Snow White. It's not competing really against anything at the moment. So I don't know if like Minecraft, the live action Minecraft would be a competitor, simply because like that doesn't look like a good movie anyways, but neither did Snow White. But that is a big property as well. So maybe that can compete in the next couple of weeks. I don't see it competing, but we'll see.
The thing about Minecraft is that Minecraft is a big enough film, that a big enough property that it probably might put some butts in seats.
Well, I got breaking news here. Breaking news from the Babylon Bee. Disney quietly cancels live action Pocahontas starring Dylan Mulvaney. So there we go.
Oh no!
That is.
Is that Fred? The
Steph, I loved your review. You because these songs in the snow, and also by the way, watch everyone's review. Dante has a review. Badger, DA. Your review, Steph, really went into the lyrics or the song and the socialism message. I don't know if you want to. I wouldn't make you sing it. I would make Alan sing it. But because he likes to sing
to woman.
I'm just saying those quotes were pretty on the nose about the not even low-key socialist message. Do you have those quotes, or would you mind repeating
pull
them?
it up? So the soundtrack came out like a week before the movie came out, and I was listening to the soundtrack just to see like what this movie is going to be about, sort of like get my mind in the headspace of like what I'm going to go and see and just prepare myself. But yeah, it says with a treasure trove of gems. This is the good things grow. This is the song that they sing at the very beginning where everybody lives in harmony, everybody shares everything. And the reason this is because they actually sing about it. They say, with a treasure trove of gems hidden just below the ground, a beautiful abundance we share. And then later on they say, where is it at? Here it is. We lead with open hearts and we live with open doors, with love to protect and provide. And we always keep in mind that what's mine is always yours. May goodness be our one true guide. So like that's the song that they sing at the very beginning. That is this utopia that everyone is living in, where we have a king and a queen and their daughter leading this kingdom, and everybody shares everybody. Nobody has more or less than the next person.
They don't lock their doors.
It's
What is this, Canada?
Equity, pretty much.
Those lyrics are concerning, and it's like clearly they started out making one kind of movie, and then they realized, oh, people really want. Did it seem to any of you that the kiss? Sorry for the
kiss
spoiler.
was terrible, man.
But was not only terrible because I think the actor himself has said he is gender fluid.
Of course,
gender fluid.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah, he seems like a theater kid. On a scale of, John Cena to Dylan Mulvaney, he was more toward Dylan. But so it seemed very fake, but it seemed like they threw it in, and then the movie
threw it in.
That should be the climax of the movie.
Dude, he doesn't even kiss her on the lips; he kisses her on the chin.
By the way, in 1937. When people saw the movie, we think these fairy tales were widely known. They were not as widely known nearly, 80 plus years ago. People thought Snow White was dead. When people saw the original in theaters the first time, they thought Snow White had died.
Like the Disneyland ride, yes.
Yes, if you do the ride, yes. But I mean, it really affected audiences. Okay, we look on it as parts of the movie are quaint and dated, but that's the charm. That is the charm of this film.
I think we're not talking about
what happened with the kiss in the movie. Jonathan loves her. He kisses her. Snow White wakes up, and the first thing she does is talk about her dead dad. So
Yeah.
When I in my review, I said like she wakes up and it doesn't even seem like she's happy to be awake.
I know.
Right.
In fact, by the end of the movie,
Like, thanks for waking me up
friend-zoned-
and reminding me that like my dad is dead.
Yeah. And by the end of the movie, she friend zones Jonathan. So
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, that's where their romance ends, is after he wakes her up, because after that, like that's when
romance is the
the
strong word.
real stuff happens. Her real love happens, and it's her love for her parents and her king, like, and wanting to gain back the power in her kingdom. Like that's her true motivation. This whole thing with Jonathan, it's completely tacked on because their relationship does like a 180. And it comes out of nowhere. Like you don't
She told
go
us
on a
this.
journey with this couple and you understand why they're falling in love. They just fell in love. And even I don't even think Snow White in the movie is convinced that she's falling in love herself with this guy, because she's just like, it might have a little to do with you. I don't know. Like the face she makes.
It was like they
Gal
talked her
told us
into it.
this.
They said
in
he took an
2023.
arrow for you. You should love him. Like it was like that kind of feel instead of actual romance and attraction and all of that. It wasn't a part of this story. And they wrote it that
tacked on as they
way.
tacked it on at the end after we
Yeah,
criticized
that was never a part of the story, and you can feel it. The audience could feel it. Everybody could tell. Everything felt it's stitched together. Like there's 4 or 5 different ideas everybody's got. Let's try to make this into a movie instead of
not
actually
about
telling
true love.
one coherent story from beginning to end.
Okay, you know what though?
And
I could handle all that. Like I could handle the fake love story and all that other BS. If she did become like this powerful leader who killed the queen, right? But basically, she basically kills the queen with friendship, right? She solves the problems with friendship. She remembers everybody's name, and therefore the queen is no longer the queen.
No, Dante, she solves the power with the power of woke. She literally wakes everybody up.
By remembering their names, by doing the bare minimum
in this movie,
and remembering these people's names.
Yeah.
Chad, you were a farmer.
Yeah, yeah. That's how she beat the queen.
All the queen had to do,
you were a baker, and you
all the queen had to do was be nice. If being the most virtuous is being virtuous, if that's what Snow White and the fairest in the land is being virtuous, then all the queen had to do was be nice, and she would have been the fairest.
Well, I mean, the movie it's I don't know what the opposite of timeless is, but I do know when a movie feels dated. I guarantee in just a few years, this version of Snow White will feel more dated than the original, because it's so rooted in today's politics.
Yeah.
It leaned in, and that's what makes it just so. And by the way, it is to no one's surprise, it is rotten, but the audience score surprises me. 74% audience score, 43% from all the racist critics.
If you look at the all audience, that's just the verified ratings. If you click on that and look at the all audience, it's a much different story. If you go to every go backwards and click on the total. Click on the actual bucket of popcorn.
Yeah.
Like now go to all audience.
Oh wow, 22% all audience. Verified is 74%. And then all critics 43. 30% top critics.
Somebody's lying.
Yeah, that's crazy. But
verified ratings.
But like, will Disney learn lessons?
No, of course not. Well, here's the thing. I think they will, in the way of they're going to be a little bit more clever, maybe, in how they hide their virtue signaling. Maybe. I will say this though, man. I think overall, right? Even if you took Rachel Zegler and her shenanigans out of all this, the movie was probably still going to bomb either way. But
Peter Dinklage said stuff, and there was other things.
And even if you took that out the way, the chances of a Snow White movie doing well are pretty slim. You know, like I was talking with Tom from Midnight's Edge, and we were talking about like how most kids today, or the ones that are adults, that Disney adults today, most of them relate to like the current Disney princesses, like Ariel, like Belle, like, the chick from Frozen, right? So if you were going to make a live action based on those characters, they're probably going to automatically do better than Cinderella, Snow White, and like some of the older Disney princesses, right? Just because most people just today aren't into those. So you are already risking a lot just by doing this movie. But on top of that, you tack on $300 million for the budget.
But it's not just that, Dante. They stripped this movie of, in my opinion, the most important part. If you go back and watch that original Snow White, the most important characters in that were the dwarves. And they absolutely destroyed the dwarves in this to the point where you don't even really recognize any of them. You know,
I
like
can
the
tell them
dwarves
apart, to
were
be
They
honest.
don't
fun.
matter. They don't matter.
They
dwarves
don't
look the
matter.
same
They're
to you,
literally just
Dante?
in there. They didn't even call it Snow White. And like Chris was saying, they didn't even call it the Seven Dwarves. It was just Snow White, not Snow White and the Seven Dwarves, because the Seven Dwarves, they all had different personalities. Dopey was different than Doc. Doc was different than Grumpy. Grumpy was different than Happy. And that all comes out. If you go back and watch that original movie, the dwarves were the fun. The dwarves were absolutely great when they're doing their thing. They're a lot of fun. And you can see like kids gravitating towards that if they did them the correct way. But what they decided to do is just make this about Snow White. Snow White's kind of like a secondary character when the dwarves show up. It's all about the dwarves, and Snow White's just kind of there hanging out with them. If you made this more about the dwarves and you cast it appropriately with seven actual actors, and not CGI slop, I think this comes off a lot better to a lot of people. I think the dwarves would have been more interesting. I think the character development that you had in each dwarf would have been better. They swapped out Dopey for Doc, or excuse me, Dopey for Grumpy. It's terrible. What they did to the dwarves is terrible, and that's one of the main reasons I think people just stayed away from this, because it doesn't feel like the original did.
Here's the thing about Disney, though. Last year, there were only $3 billion movies, and all three of them came out of Disney. Whether did they get it right? You know, does it matter? I mean, they have a tracker. This particular movie was started long ago. It was almost done before the strike. You know,
Are we really giving them credit
it's
for
one of
like
these movies
Deadpool and Wolverine,
that was done by an old regime, and we'll see what happens this year when Lilo and Stitch comes out. When Fantastic.
Same with Ironheart,
comes
like
out.
holdovers, right, from
They're
this
holdovers.
past regime. Yeah,
Yeah. So
that they couldn't cancel.
But again, the last year, $3 billion movies, and Disney had all three of them.
This year, are they going to have $1 billion movie? And what would it
Lilo-
be?
I think Lilo and Stitch.
Lilo and
I think
Stitch.
Lilo and Stitch.
If Fantastic Four is good, Fantastic Four, maybe a Thunderbolt.
Avatar?
Yeah, Avatar. That's the third one. Yeah.
I think the MCU might
Avatar.
be in bigger trouble, but definitely Lilo and Stitch is going to do $1 billion.
Yeah, Lilo and Stitch and Avatar, you know. But I mean, this is, again, you're talking about giant movies, you know, major IPs, you know. Disney to me feels like they own these big IPs, like they bought Deadpool and Wolverine, and then they were able to, you know, churn out $1 billion. But that's because of all of the goodwill that Deadpool had built up and those X-Men movies had built up. And now you got this mashup team up movie. Okay, yeah, everybody's coming to see that because people like those types of movies now. But I mean, on their own, can Disney do this without a big giant IP, you know, funneling money into this thing? That's the question. Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. Disney can't create like they used to.
No.
You know, they should be able to create IPs that would turn into $1 billion.
Right.
Now they
These
can
are
only
their
borrow.
ideas.
And
Yeah,
copy
but
off the
Their
people.
ideas.
my point is no one else can either, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
With the industry as a whole.
Nope, I agree.
You just wait for Black Snape and Superman. Look up, Alan. It's all going to be amazing. All going to make $1 billion. It's going to save everything.
Yeah, I think the box office failing like this is a big problem for Hollywood in general, because this is a tentpole movie. This should be able to, you know, make at least, you know, $500 million. I don't think this gets close to that, you know, unfortunately, and that's going to hurt theater owners. That's going to
It's
hurt going to the
gonna
movies.
lose
You know, we're going to
so
start seeing
much.
more and more movies getting fast tracked to VOD because of stuff like this.
Can we show footage from the Diddy party? That's this. Alan, you should not be doing that.
Got the white party
ending.
going on.
Yeah, I was waiting for the baby oil
Pam
to come out.
Bondi will come
Yeah,
after it.
ends in a Diddy party.
So no lessons will be learned. I think the big takeaway from this, Rachel Zegler will never be the front facing star of a big tentpole Hollywood movie. She's unpredictable. Although I'll say this, when things fade away from this in a couple months, she will not be able to resist like a child, with a toy. She will just post something mean about the reaction to Snow White. I'm saying it now. My prediction, she'll say something about Gal Gadot. She'll say something about Palestine. Wait for it. Having watched so much footage of her, she just seems like she's a crazy actress with no control over her emotions. Any
Well, she's
predictions
already
there?
kind of starting. I have to find the clip. I have to find the clip because she's already victimizing herself. I think I can't remember which magazine that she was interviewing with, but I know I saved it to my phone.
There's a
But
clip
she's
of her
already kind
talking
of
about-
saying that like this was a terrible year or terrible few years for her going through and everything that she went through, and she was able to like rise above it or whatever. I have to look and see which magazine it was. But yeah, she's already kind of saying stuff like that.
It's
She's not
the West
really
Side
taking
Story thing.
responsibility or anything.
She was complaining that they made her prove of Guatemalan
We-
heritage or whatever it was. Yeah.
Right. I heard
Yeah,
that.
said
quote,
that, yeah.
But I mean, the person that made it miserable for her was her.
Yeah.
Everything she said, her post about Trump voters in half the country, her posts about Palestine clearly directed at Gal Gadot, all of that, like her being miserable was of her own making. And will she not come to that conclusion? I mean, that's why I say she's a child. I mean, there are people her age, that are perfectly professional about things. The young woman who played in Little Mermaid, I thought she handled that great.
Oh,
Yeah,
Haley
Miss
Bailey.
Halle
Yeah.
Bailey, she was great.
Haley
There
though.
was
Bailey.
there was controversy, but you know what? She's a really good singer. She was good in the movie. She handled the press fine. And I wish they would have just taken an African fable and made a new character. Ariel and a new
Yes.
character can coexist in another universe rather than this. I don't know. I just think Hollywood will never learn. And for me, it's getting scary from this standpoint. How many weeks in a row can Hollywood handle less than 100 million at the box office?
Dude, I already said the theaters are going to go the way of the drive-in, man. There's no way all these theaters are going to stay open like this. It's not sustainable. You can't do this.
If this continues through the year, you will have some highlights. Superman, Fantastic Four. There will be highlights, but the habit of going to the movies is dying. I personally love it. I go to even theaters like the New Bev. People know the New Beverly.
I love the New Bev, man.
I'm a member of the American Cinematheque, an A-list member, as is, I believe, Alan.
Vista.
The Vista Theater. All these small, I feel very fortunate. I had my friend Shane in from out of town. We went and saw, by the way, look for it. I saw The Death of Snow White. I saw it on the big screen. It's effing awesome. It's a hard R horror film with nudity. It's fun. It's the woman who plays Snow White is amazing. There is a for members only. I filmed the Q&A from the screening, so please go there if you're a member and watch it. The cast, the effects, all practical. This movie it's a much more accurate telling of the Grimm fairy tale, which is really dark. If you know, it's very dark. And it's coming out in a couple weeks. I think we're gonna interview them on the show. But that I had more fun watching The Death of Snow White than Snow White. So these horror remakes are kind of fun, actually.
In a very, very small way, I do feel a little bad for Rachel, and I'll say it, and this is why. Here's the thing: no, she's an awful person, awful. I just think in like maybe 3 or 4 years from now, she is going to look back and realize she tanked what could have been such a like lucrative career. You know what I mean? She like, and because she's young and dumb, and she doesn't even realize what she's done. Like, I'm pretty sure her representation already dropped her. Like, I bet everything I have that she probably got dropped by her agent already.
I don't know. It would look really cruel if they did that. I don't know if that's true, but I do think this.
Well, dude, I mean, she hasn't had one hit.
She
hasn't had one hit, and she's pissed off a major studio like Disney.
Right. Well, true, but I mean, Y2K, not her fault. Just a bad movie. She's not great in it, but I don't see where she goes from here, and it's sad for the box office. Look, movies need something like a Snow White to bring people to theaters so they go see Black Bag or some other movie like Opus, right? Like,
that's what I'm saying, Chris. The momentum. of going to theaters, getting into the habit of going to the theaters is slowly leaving the culture. People are staying at home. People are watching YouTube.
Mhm.
I'll just watch somebody's review of Snow White, and then I'll, maybe go see it, or I'll probably just wait for it to hit streaming and VOD. That's the scary part. And, obviously the theaters, their prices, again, you're talking about $20 sometimes in some cases to go see a movie. That's wild, man. Like $20 is way too much to spend. And then it's like, okay, is this movie going to be any good? Or you know what?
Yeah.
I can stay at home. I'll never get to the end of Netflix. I will never get to the end of Netflix. I
Yeah.
got a big screen in my house. I got a great surround sound. Let me bring the fellas over. Hey, Netflix just threw up, what was it? The Electric State. All right, let's go watch that. Let's hang out and watch that, drink some beers. If it's bad, we'll get lit and we'll just have a good time. And then that'll be that. Instead of actually going and spending money to get that experience, I could sit at home and I can have my bros, and it's a much better experience. And you might even like the movie a little bit better. But the more they keep churning out bad movies to go into the theaters are going to have to keep hiking the movie ticket prices up to get, money back, to make money. How much have ticket prices ballooned up in the last 10 years? It's like
They make their money in concessions anyway, so you're just getting more popcorn buckets and everything else. Yeah, it's over, by the way, guys. It's over. Red French Moon said it. You broke every one of the addiction or regularly going to the movies with COVID when we had to stop and we couldn't go out, and everyone realized what Derek just said, that we all have really nice high definition 4K TVs. We just don't need it anymore. So we'll go for Deadpool, Wolverine, and Lilo and Stitch, but there's no momentum to build up. They literally can't build up momentum because they're not capable of that many good movies releasing in a row. So you have your tentpole films. I hope everyone goes out for Superman because that's it. That's it. It's big films.
That and also with the economy, people are very picky about what movies they actually choose to go to. Because as DA said, it is very expensive to go to the movies right now. It's you have the movie ticket, then you have concessions, unless you sneak something in. I used to sneak stuff in, but you have concessions and stuff to buy. So it's expensive to go to the movies. So you have to pick and choose, especially for a family movie, a family of 4, a family of 5. Those kids are going to want some concessions. So it's very expensive. People need to pick and choose what they spend their money on. People are very conscious consumers right now.
Yeah. Let's go to comments, and then I have some trailers for us to watch, including very surprising ones. I'm not going to say anything, but let's go to chat questions here.
Jordy for 10. Want to thank Rob for the Hyperion Cantos book recommendation. Best I've read in a while. The Soul Weintraub story was my favorite. Now on to book 2.
Rob messaged me. He is not going to be able to make it today. Apologies, Jordy. I will pass on the message. Thank you.
Darth Maul's lower half for 10. Just watched the video of Ramstein's son, 5-minute, and the story is the same. A bunch of hard-working little people mining precious gems and living in an abusive relationship with Snow White. Geek Truth 64 for 5. I did say Snow White not being from the Renaissance era would play a big part in lack of interest from normie audiences. No 90s nostalgia to boost it.
Yep.
Jen McMahon for $1.99. Snow Marxists. Graph Web for 2. In the name of all that is holy, hashtag cancel Disney Plus. Scare me with the full screen. Jim McCon for $9.99. Watching Snow White 2025 does seem like a struggle session that one would find in communism. Actually, I do believe there was a line about that in the Communist Manifesto. Yeah.
Yep.
Spade 2187 for $4.99. Watched Magazine Dream. Great movie. Feel a certain scene was made for a particular group that was unneeded and showing cops being racist.
Yeah, we reviewed it last week. It probably will not be in theaters long. I don't even think did it hit the top 10. It did not.
No.
Look, it's an incredible performance by Jonathan Majors. I mean, he's amazing. So if you want to see it, you should see it this week. I don't think it'll be around much longer.
It was amazing, like Tom Hanks and Forrest Gump. Yes,
precisely.
Oh, wow.
Precisely.
Cyberhunk returns for 2. Do you ever wonder just what the fuck Bob Iger is thinking?
He is a very political leader, who puts his finger up and sees where the wind is blowing, and that's kind of where he goes. I think he's weak, and he's good at acquiring IP, but not running a company.
The fact that Bob is confirmed at taking like 3 showers a day means he has a lot of shower thoughts, and that's not good. 3 shower thoughts a day means he does a lot of weird ass decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Jin McMahon for $4.99. Snow glass
It's
apples.
McMahon, by the way.
McMahon. You know what? Jin McMahon. Thank you. Snow glass apples by Neil Gaiman is a good story. Spoiler: Snow White is a vampire.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Gabe Ing Bong Ho for $5. Hard R death of Snow White because of blood and gore. Boobies, crunchy beaver, or the N word with the hard R do tell.
I like
Can you read his name better, by the way.
Yeah, Gabe Ing Bong Ho. I like your profile pic. Reminds me of somebody. That's awesome. Cool. All right, switching gears. There's a new Andor trailer. Let's watch it. It's short. What is it, like less than 90 seconds? Let's take a look. I want to get your reaction. It might be I'll say what I think after, but let's all watch it together. Ready? Here we go.
I came with you to be part of something. The Empire cannot win. It's a different kind of mission. If it goes up in flames, it will burn very brightly.
But if I'm giving up everything, I want to win. We have to. We must stand together. We will be crushed.
Resistance is absurd.
It's a weapon. They're building a weapon. The monster will come for us all.
Revolution is not for the saying. You're right here, and you're ready to fight.
There's a future here for those who dare. Welcome to the rebellion.
I'm in.
Spoiler: Luke Skywalker blows up that Death Star.
Yeah, well, look, I'm not gonna lie. I think it looks pretty good. I think it's too little, too late. But
My favorite.
Sorry,
my favorite line is it will all go up in flames like my Tesla.
Yeah.
Look,
But
that's
no,
much
look.
better without that stupid music that they had on the last one, man.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah, I-
proper music absolutely helps the trailer.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is a great trailer. I'm all in. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, for me, Andor is kind of like in its own little bubble where I
Yeah.
kind of separate it from the rest of the garbage of Star Wars. Andor is this like nice little thing that we have, and hopefully they can like stick the landing on it. But I'm in.
I mean, I still think Star Wars is dead as a brand.
Sure,
I think
sure.
this is
yeah,
clearly a more adult story.
Yeah.
The effects, like you pointed out, verbal, like the making TIE fighters frightening because they're so real. There's something about the effects that are amazing, and we see little glimpses. So I think watching Andor and then Rogue One might be something fun to do. Also, the release of this, they're releasing 3 episodes a week, essentially a feature film a week.
Oh,
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Over
Three
the
for
span-
what?
over
Right.
the span of 3 weeks, basically.
Yeah. So, and then each of those episodes is 1 year in the story. So I, for one, I can't say I'm excited. I'm like, I will watch it and not. I'm not.
Yeah,
like,
that's the problem. Is this show will fail because it comes from Disney and because it's Star Wars.
true, but
Sure.
it's not like Acolyte where we all kind of knew even before it was going to be bad. I'm not excited. I'm like, oh, it's something that's not bad, but not at the top of my list.
But here's the thing, though. Even if it does bad, like as far as like viewings and ratings and all that, who cares? Like, this is the final season anyway, so we're not going to get another season. There was never another season planned after this.
Right.
So we're getting everything right here, right now. I mean, if no one watches and it's good, who cares?
Yeah.
I'm excited just because it's something actually that's decent that's going to be coming out of Star Wars for a change. I mean, everything we've been getting from Star Wars has just been hot garbage for the most
Skeleton
part.
Crew is decent, Derek, and no one watched it. Daredevil recent card was good. No one watched it. So, like, even if it's good, you think anyone's going to watch it?
I don't think anybody's watching it. I don't think anybody's going to watch it. I think Disney Star Wars remains dead as a doornail. But I'm just happy to see something good come out of this franchise because I love it and I want Star Wars to be good. So I'm happy to see something good. But yeah, do I think it's going to change anything? Nah, it's not going to change anything.
Yeah, it's better off.
Well, and a good thing about Andor too for me is that, again, it's separate from like the rest of Star Wars, right? Like we could watch Andor and not think about Luke or think about Han or think about the prequels, right? It's its own little thing. It's its own little story that takes place during this time period of from here to here, and we get that little story, and that's all I care about.
Yeah, and to its credit, the first one didn't, and with Rogue One, it didn't destroy lore.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the thing it has going. Yeah.
My problem with the show is the least interesting character is the title character, Andor.
Yeah.
He is not. I mean, I'm more curious about Forrest Whitaker's character.
Well, and that's what I mean to Alan's point. It did destroy lore. It did destroy lore. It just destroyed the expanded universe that came first and had more popular characters. That if they did that, you wouldn't be saying who gives a shit about Diego Luna. You'd be talking about Kyle. You'd be talking about Kyle Katarn and Jan Orris, and it would be super popular, not a niche little thing that everyone is going to forget about when it comes out.
The majority of Star Wars fans don't know anything about the extended universe.
More than you think do.
More, but not enough to.
To test that hypothesis. Right now, the only thing selling.
Excited about making movies based on it.
As someone who actually buys this shit, the only thing selling is OG expanded universe.
None
the
of
only
it
comics
is on
they're
my
releasing is OG comics. But do you know what's not
None
selling?
of it is on my shelf.
Is sequel trilogy is Andor. All of
well,
that
they had an opportunity,
no
Badger. They had the opportunity to bring the EU into the mainstream, and they screwed it. They screwed it up royally by trying to go in their own direction.
They're trying now.
If they had did that,
they decanonized it so they can pick and choose from the EU, like what they wanted to make canon.
Yeah, they're trying now.
The logic behind that?
They know that people are buying EU things. That's why they're making that Mara Jade saber.
It's what Kathy said. Why would we want them buying? And it's why Galaxy's Edge is space Iraq instead of the original movies. Why would we want them going to that? We already got that. We need them buying engaging with our stuff.
People are buying episodes 1 through 6, not the extended universe.
What was the logic behind decanonizing the EU? What was the point of that, other than they can cherry pick parts of the story?
So, here's a question I have along with that, Chris. When Disney bought Lucasfilm, did they buy the EU too, or was that a separate thing?
They bought it, but they have a bunch of deals with the writers. They would have had to continue on with royalties, which is why they were like, no, you're all done, and then we'll hand pick people to come back and rewrite their own books. And
they didn't want to pay the writers their royalties, pretty much.
Disney canon, and so that way they don't have to pay attention to anything that came before them, the already successful established stuff, and now they can just pick and choose, but they're all lesser than they were. So now we'll get Mara Jade, but she won't grow up to be Luke Skywalker's wife and have kids. She'll just be a one-off played by Zendaya.
Well, Luke is ruined anyway, so I mean,
yes, it's what Bo DeMeo was talking about. Why they don't use Marvel lore. Actual comic lore, because then the executives can't take credit. Kathy needs to have it her stuff, not what George did.
Look, I'll watch it. I really think the trailers, other than the music choice for that first trailer, I think this looks very good.
Yeah, and I think like Daredevil, it's probably best binged rather than watched episode by episode.
Yeah, Alan and I both binged Daredevil Born Again, which in the end, it stuck the landing for me and made me want to watch more. But as a week to week, it is the lack of interest. I think Paul Chato nailed it. Paul Chato, go watch his video on Daredevil Born Again. Basically, most Netflix series do not go beyond a season 2. And when they do, they fail.
Rhino.
Isn't that because they canceled
Right.
them?
Hey, Rhino. Hey, why don't you join us, Rhino?
Of course he pops in when we're talking about Star Wars.
Rhino, DM me. You want to be on Versus? Join us.
Hey, you better be drinking a Foster's, man.
Yeah.
Because Chris, did we hear that they cancel after 2 seasons because that's when they're allowed to renegotiate rights for actors and stuff like that? So they end up just canceling it, like making a popular show that gets
What they
canceled.
do is, here's what they do, because I've worked in TV. You get performance bumps. So as something you negotiate, they want you to do it. So they hook you in with, reasonable pay. But the longer it goes, you get bumps and bumps. And so talent and people that are on writing staff, they all get more money the longer something continues. And so it doesn't surprise me. I mean, how many series, you can probably count them on maybe 1 or 2 hands, have gone beyond a season 2 at Netflix? How many? Stranger Things,
Cobra Kai.
Not many.
Even Squid Game is going beyond a season 2. And now they have a BS way of well, it's season.
Well, they ruined
2.
Squid Game.
Yeah, 2.1, 2.5. It's like they split the second season. It's kind of.
I would say Cobra Kai, but that was a YouTube show that became that Netflix.
Yeah, that was on YouTube Red.
I don't consider Cobra Kai Netflix.
Yeah, so it's I'm just saying that Paul Chato pointed out that people just were done. They were like, I saw the Daredevil show. It was very good. I like it. I'm good. Because you could argue, is this a season of Daredevil where he hangs up the costume and decides not to be Daredevil, which has been every season, effectively?
Yeah, but on Netflix, it was done well. Here,
well, that's true.
Yeah.
There are things about the new show I do like. I think I am getting a little weary though of the fact that we're about to hit episode 5 and he's still not in costume yet.
The marriage counseling is painful, dude.
Oh, that is the worst.
Oh,
that is the worst part of the show is the marriage counseling thing.
Yes. And the criminal that complained about being a fucking criminal and stealing and not getting free money.
And Matt completely agrees with him. Oh, you're right.
That's
right.
I do
like characters in their skin suits. Like
what, Chris?
I do like Kingpin squirming as children are singing badly to him.
That was funny. That was
funny. But episode 5, get ready. It's set on St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day episode. It's a bank robbery. It could have been great. It is
no
not.
Spoilers.
It could have been great. It is
Fiddle
not.
faddle.
See, and I think that's my problem. Is like I said, there are things about this show I do like a lot, right?
John Barenthal.
Well, yes. Which was the best part of that
there
episode.
for like 10 minutes.
Easily the best part of that episode.
Yeah,
but my problem is I'm tired of the trope, man. I'm tired of, I'm gonna hang up the suit because of this happened, or I'm not gonna be Daredevil because this happened. It's like, can we just get a season of Daredevil?
The reluctant hero.
No,
the reluctant hero, the guy that doesn't really
that.
want to be Daredevil, or it's like Spider-Man not really wanting to be Spider-Man. We saw that too, and it's like,
I'm so
come on,
tired of that, man. It's
I
like,
am so
guys,
sick of
man.
that too, man. Yeah.
In the comics, they like being superheroes.
But like even the scene with Punisher, even the scene with John Bernthal, they had that great moment together in the Netflix Daredevil where they have like that really good deep conversation, and you're just completely glued to the screen watching them have this deep conversation. Even that scene, even though it's the best scene of that episode, it's still not good writing. Like, it's their performances that really elevate the scene, but it's still not good writing.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You gotta binge it because there's stuff that's gonna happen that everything you're complaining about comes back, and you see it in the bigger picture.
The problem is that we're not binging it. We have to wait week to week for this.
Well, you can wait till you can stop watching until all episodes are out.
Yeah, just stop watching it.
Plus that scene
that shouldn't be a good excuse, Alan, because
I know. Look, all I'm saying is
it should be a good.
I say yes, you're right. Bad execution. I'm just saying. I found it enjoyable because I got to see the whole damn
everybody. Alan just said, "Stop watching Daredevil. It's not worth it no more. Wait till this thing drops." Alan just told you guys what to do, man.
Episode 4 is very weak, and it's sad because that's right in the middle of the series, and and when you go week to week, if you don't sense that it's getting better, you're gonna drop out, and it's kind of like because I was forced to kind of see all 9 episodes all the way through. It made episode 4 more palatable. It made the worst thing about episode 5 more palatable.
Well, they're dropping.
And the best storyline with Muse hasn't even, you don't see a glimmer of it yet until you
So
get
they're
there.
dropping episodes 5 and 6 this week. So they're coming back to back.
smart.
There's 2 episodes. So
Oh, there
yeah, I
are?
think they did that probably because they maybe realized that the momentum needs to get kicked up, in order to get people to hang on to this. Because I'm telling you, I'm ready to stop. I was ready to stop after the last week. I was like, all right, I'll give this thing one more
It's
week
boring.
and I'm
It's
done.
so boring. And the goal is, especially if it's released on a weekly basis, is to keep your audience interested. They need to come back, especially since it's on Disney Plus, and they want to keep your subscription. Keep the audience's interest in the show. And mine's just dwindling. I'm just like, I don't know if I can keep up with it. It's so boring.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you for that. That's why I say it's better binge than it is week to
Well,
week.
I know why they do it. They do it. Look, doing it weekly is good for content creators, right? I mean, it gives them something to talk about. People could do their reaction channels and react to week to week on these episodes. I get that part of it, and that's fine if you had a show that was exciting from week to week. Yeah. But when there's like dead episodes like this, it's good for content creators, terrible for everybody else.
Right, but the reason
how
there's
many
dead
fight scenes have we
episodes,
gotten in this
Alan. So real quick, Alan, the guy, because you've actually seen all this shit. Isn't Dario stuck with a bunch of shit that was already filmed, and they have to? The best they could do was edit around it, add in a couple of new scenes, which means this first season it's gonna be shit because it's largely the past regime's decisions. That's why we got that dude complaining about the fiddle
what
faddle.
you guys are saying, it's really all about foreshadowing. A lot of the
second season is the new season.
Okay, in terms of this, the stuff that you're complaining about, it's not like they just threw it there and did something bad. There's foreshadowing within all of it, and it kind of plays out up until the end of the last season. Even Foggy's death plays out in the last episode.
Let's pivot to more Star Wars news. I have a treat. Maybe
there's
something
more?
Yes. Halcyon Days, the final voyages of the Galactic Starcruiser. This is an independent film that has a Kickstarter. Have any of you heard of this?
No.
It's the Halcyon, actually.
Halcyon.
That's the ship that they tried to push on everyone.
Yeah,
it's the documentary
it is.
about
closed and cost them like millions of dollars. They tried to open it over at Disney.
Yeah, it's
so this like an expensive Star Wars hotel, basically.
Oh, and they added it to canon. They said that Anakin and Padme conceived Luke and Leia on their honeymoon on this ship. A bunch of dumb shit.
And you can stay in that room.
Yeah.
In any case, the Galactic Starcruiser was a colossal disaster, based in the the sequel trilogy, all those characters. It essentially, I think the best description of it I heard was from Jenny Nicholson. Shout out to her. Watch her 4-hour plus where she breaks down the failure of this thing. It essentially is a role-playing hotel where you play children's birthday games. It's ill-conceived, terrible, and overpriced. And an intrepid filmmaker went on one of the almost nearly final voyage of the Starcruiser and amassed 100 hours of footage to make a documentary. They're halfway to their goal with 30 days to go. Would you like to see this? Let's see.
Sure.
Watch the trailer.
Does it show the people who got matching tattoos?
It's I don't know what watch the whole thing. It's 5 minutes, but we'll get a little taste of it. I'm a little the pink hair. I don't know. I'm not convinced here, but let's watch this.
Harry Copeland, director of Halcyon Days, a featured documentary about the short but spectacular run of a unique entertainment experience at Disney World called the Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser. But the thing is, this film isn't about Star Wars or Disney, really. It's about art, innovation, and community. Galactic Starcruiser was a one-of-a-kind attraction that simulated in real time and live action a 2-day journey through the Star Wars universe aboard a luxury cruise liner spaceship called the Halcyon. This stunning work transcended mere entertainment, combining elements of interactive theater, immersive art, cosplay, gaming, live-action roleplay.
I think you like sheep.
High-tech set design, luxury, hospitality, musical performance, special effects. It was a lot. I'm making this film because I want to understand why I got so obsessed with it. So for the past 2 years, We've been working hard on a documentary that captures the history.
The history of immersive entertainment is the campfire.
Legacy and impact of the Starcruiser.
I believe Galactic Starcruiser is just the beginning of this kind of immersive experience.
Our team shot over 100 hours of footage, conducted over 50 interviews.
It means a lot because it's the place where, I found my true self.
Not just with the incredible fans, but with academics.
Live action role play is adult pretend play.
Field experts.
So when I saw this, I was like, this is my dream come true.
Starcruiser actors.
I personally know the power of giving people the opportunity to step outside themselves and experience being the hero of the story.
Designers.
That actor's ability to connect with people is really the heart of the art form.
And we didn't stop there. Viewers of House Sound Days will get to experience the dazzling scope, the incredible artistry as they follow alongside my alter ego, Snacks.
Jellicle Snug Snack? You can call me Snacks for short.
Don't ask. Aboard one of the final voyages of this incredible work.
Well, people paid $5,000 for this.
I can't.
I'm just
Snacks.
okay. I really want to see this. I don't care. I actually
no.
Hey, Gary.
So much purple hair.
I don't know this. I don't know this.
Her hero is Haldo.
Yeah.
That took me out right there. That's like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. I don't need to watch this.
Well, I'll see it. The thing is with it, do you guys want to watch the rest?
Will you fund it? I know you'll see it, but would you fund it?
I'd seen enough.
Will you donate money to see this?
It's
I'm getting along in years now. I got to be like really good with my time. So I
thank you, Dante.
Well,
thank you.
Here's the deal. They're halfway to their goal. They will make it because there's 30 days to go.
There.
It'll fund, but you're not going to get to see the movie until October of 2026.
Whoa.
That's estimated delivery. So $20 digital download. I might do it. I want to get the updates. I hope they do a Blu-ray. So I'm really curious because this might be one of the biggest brand disasters ever, next to Galaxy's Edge, which is a Star Wars land at Disneyland. How do you screw that up? And they did.
Make it look like Iraq.
But I don't think this movie will address the brand disaster.
One of their experts that I was trying to look up all these people that were popping up that were the experts that they're talking to. One of the experts is a progressive. Literally, she says it's not possible to have a career in games if I don't see people who look like me existing in this space. Like
Danny Lalonde.
No, thank you. No, thank you. I'm not in.
Look, I'll see it when it comes out. I want to see it. I also invest in a lot of Kickstarters. I've already, I want to see where it ends, but it looks like it's going to basically be something that praises it and not get into the failure. Jenny Nicholson did a better job. I think that video of hers has millions of views. So good on her. It's exhaustingly detailed.
Mm-hmm.
This is, just want to make you aware of it because
I'm waiting for where's the Kickstarter for Acolyte season 2, Chris? I'm waiting on that, man. You guys probably do that. Acolyte season 2. Like that? Where's my Kickstarter for that? I'll throw in on that one.
I've got the action figures right here. I'm
ready to go, man. I'm ready to drop some bread on that.
We're ready to do it.
Oh my goodness.
You had to buy it.
This does sound like good intentioned people. I will give them that. It sounds like good intentioned people who really fell in love with the Halcyon, with the Disney Galactic Starcruiser hotel. But it at the same, so it does sound like they are fans of it, and they were very sad that it closed down. I think some people, if I'm remembering it correctly, I can't even remember. I think I'm remembering it correctly. They were doing an ode to the Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser. So a bunch of people got matching tattoos, or something like that. They were in this exclusive group that got to go on this because this was incredibly expensive. it was so expensive to try and book a trip on this thing. That's why it failed.
How much
because
was
it was
each
way
trip?
too expensive.
How much was it?
I don't remember.
5,000 for like a family of
$5,000.
4 for 3 days, and it was like for
thousands of
2.
Oh, there you go.
It was like 3
Okay,
something.
We just saw the first 2 minutes. Does people in the chat vote? Should we watch the rest of the trailer? Y for yes, N for no. Atomic Lori will let me know. No need to do a poll. Do people want to just visually? Do you want to see the rest of this trailer, or should we move on? Because I have another treat for you.
Let me just say this about it. My question is,
Please.
who do they blame for the failure of Galactic Starcruiser? Is it the fandom maybe that they blame?
Probably. How do you blame the fans for not liking
I know. I don't.
something?
It's
There's
hard
no
to
blame for the
$5,000?
fans. That's
No, but
you.
they'll blame us for the bad press going into it. And that
Racist,
the bad press
spoiled.
going into it ultimately sunk the
Look,
project.
if people thought this was worth $5,000, they would have threw their $5,000 down and they would have went. No, this was not worth the money. That's why nobody showed up. That's why this thing has already been, mothballed. This was a terrible experience, obviously, for the money, for what it was, for the cost. I just
One
can't see
good
it.
thing came out of this, and that was that this is the trailer that when Gary was watching it and it showed the Twi'lek that she fights for her home, he was like, a Twi'lek! And he threw his Peter Parker Garfield head and broke his monitor, and we got that great clip.
Oh, that's right.
But that was this. That was him because they had a Twi'lek who's a slave species be a fucking freedom fighter.
Forgot about that.
Yeah. Oh, it lives rent-free in my head. I think about it all the time because that is the level of dumminess that they did with this instead of just making it like Clone Wars or Rebels with Darth
Original
Vader.
trilogy.
Yeah,
Everything,
by the way,
they did over there at Disney, Galaxy's Edge, Galactic, it all should have been original trilogy. All should have been original trilogy. Nothing but original trilogy. And then you build all of that stuff, other stuff in, prequels. If the sequels worked, you could have built that in, but you start with the original trilogy on everything.
Yeah, but that's not
the
a
fact
Disney
that they didn't do
creation.
that was
That's not a
stupid.
Disney Lucasfilm creation. If they did that, then they would have to accept the fact that George Lucas's Star Wars is better than theirs, even though it is. It 100% is. They don't want to, say that like, oh, it's George Lucas's creation. Give him any credit. Nothing like that. They want to stand on their own 2 feet,
That's what the
even
High
if what
Republic
they're
is.
standing on is piles and piles of shit.
Yeah.
Look,
by the way,
I hope Justine Bateman doesn't hear this, but I'm hoping that AI gets to the point where fans can actually start creating like really good Star Wars, so that I can get back into Star Wars.
Oh, it's going to happen.
Here's the thing: we are never going to get a good studio Star Wars ever again.
Bro, look at Star Wars
Like,
Theory.
those
That's what
days
he's doing. Like, yeah. We're gonna have to do it ourselves.
By the way, overwhelmingly, people in the chat said no. Please don't play the drum. So
hell no.
Shows you the quality.
chat
of
has
it.
spoken. No. Okay.
Let's
Appreciate
move
it.
on.
No, we're never getting good Star Wars again. So
Unless
I agree.
look, Chris, you had dropped a story about it getting sold. Any news, any updates, anything?
I have not. I'm supposed to eventually meet the person that knows all about it. I will get the full story.
Maybe Apple can do it if they could just waste $1 billion a year on their shit. Maybe they could just throw that around, grab some Star Wars.
That's
up for
like
us.
one hope is that Apple actually knows how to. Like they invest in good filmmaking and good storytelling, and if they somehow acquire Disney and Star Wars underneath that, that's like my last little gasp of hope that
Let's
maybe Star
manifest
Wars
it.
can be great again.
They're gonna decanonize everything, and they'll just start with Luke Skywalker rebuilding the Jedi.
Man, oh my God, recast everybody and just start. Oh my God, man, I'm in.
You can do
it. Please.
It'll probably happen. Let's go to comments, and I have a special treat for everyone. I have lots of treats today.
M for $2. Anyone excited for Death of a Unicorn? Yes, actually. Paul
Yes.
Rudd and Jenna Ortega.
I'm in. I'm going to see it Thursday. Yeah.
Thursday.
Looks
Thank
very
you, man.
interesting. Red French Moon for $2. Just tired of Siren in trailer. It does look good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Red French Moon for $5. D+ is now like the CW. Even when the CW produced good stuff, yeah, they did. No one watched because of the stigma of all the bad shows, and now it's Disney+. Correct.
Yep.
Hey, I
Michael
watched
Lee
a
for
lot of
$4.99.
CW shows.
What was that, Steph?
Said I watched a lot of CW shows.
Yeah, they had some good stuff for a while.
We all did, man.
Michael Lee for $4.99 watched Pocahontas last night. What a fantastic movie. Animation, coloring, music, characters, and funny animals. Story, yeah. Disney is a disgrace now.
Do you think they actually?
I'm
do
honestly
remake?
surprised they haven't made a live action Pocahontas.
Yeah.
With all the hate against white men.
Yeah,
That would be-
it's really just this wokeness disease. People act like it's new. I was in college in the 80s. There were idiots with these ideas back in college then. They kind of had these they had these skewed views. They could take a movie like classic Disney fairy tale or any fairy tale, break it down from a feminist perspective. Those people have, since I've been young, always existed, but they never had a voice and no one listened to them because they were morons. We live in a time now
They still are.
where they have a voice,
You're right.
social media, and this small minority of morons are listened to by giant corporations to their detriment. So this isn't new, but what's new is that they get what they are listened to and paid attention to. That part is new, and it makes corporations seem stupid. Like could you imagine trying to make they are mad about Lilo and Stitch and the shade of brown that the lead character is. You know what? It looks very good. It looks true to the cartoon. I don't know. I think it looks fine, but they're arguing about the direct, like, does it have to match the person? Give me a break. And
Meanwhile, Ariel was black.
It's
Thank you. Like now y'all care about getting the character right. Now you care about getting the character right.
You know what they say.
The character was a black girl turned into a white girl turned into a black girl. Now it matters.
You know what they say? They say it does matter. They say that that's disingenuous argument that you're arguing about Ariel and being the Little Mermaid. No, that doesn't matter. This matters because her skin color is inherent to the culture that she is living in Hawaii, and it's that.
Oh, and Ariel being Scandinavian story.
I've seen so many TikToks about
Ariel
this.
was
That
a
is what
fish,
they're
Dante.
saying. They're saying that the skin
Also
color
green.
does matter because there's a huge difference that it speaks on the tourism of white people in Hawaii and what she has to deal with. And I'm just like, what are you talking about?
It's a double standard.
They don't
Because there's no light skin
touch on that
There's no light
in the
skin
movie.
Hawaii.
Yeah, let's also not forget that in Princess and the Frog, the black character was green through half the movie.
Yeah,
and that's why the black community doesn't like that movie. No, it's true. This is what they say about Princess and the Frog. That's why the ride is not the movie. It's the it's this communist food bank that Tiana is running.
But notice that the race swapping excuses only go in one direction. Like the
What's the
Netflix one where they,
colorism, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Right, colorism.
Here it is.
Like, because I say this is what I say. Why isn't it important for little light-skinned Hawaiian girls? Because she's from Hawaii. All right. This actress is from Hawaii.
Hawaiian.
Why isn't it important for little light-skinned Hawaiian girls to see themselves? They have to see themselves on film, to see themselves in the character. Why can't they get the same benefit of black girls needing to see themselves and all of that other nonsense that they try to use as the excuse for the race swap? It's BS, man. I hate this crap. But
Sorry,
yeah,
Jared.
it's so hypocritical. These guys are giant hypocrites, man. They can't stick to this is me. I'm consistent. Get as close to the original as humanly possible. Get as close to the original. So yeah, I say that this chick, she, Sydney, I think her name is Sydney. She's too light to play to play Nani. She's too light skinned. All right. I might have found somebody a little bit more on the darker side, but that's not how wokeology works. All right. Wokeology is, hey, we just cast a quote unquote best person for the job. All right. That's what they do. So why can't we do the exact same thing here? These people are giant hypocrites, man. I can't stand this crap.
But it goes back to what Chris said. There was a time when the studios would never listen to these people. They would never have taken these people serious, man.
Yep.
And
because they want to make money.
And now we know why, because we've seen what happens when a studio listens to these people. Now they're failing.
They can't make money.
I just find it, something like this happened, long story, I won't get into it, when I was at G4 and the head of the network at the time responded to a feminist group that came to a panel I was on where I was making jokes and they didn't think they were funny. And it was rough going there for a bit. But I said to him, like, why were you even responding to them on some forum? It was strange at the time, whatever. But I just think these people, they're not to be listened to. They are not to be taken seriously because it doesn't represent any majority of people, or even people who spend money on movies. And by the way, if you know anything, this is a legit thing. A conversation between cinematographers. Who is better at lighting black actors on film? And turns out black cinematographers have a better sensitivity to lighting black actors better, because I'll tell you what, you change the lighting, she will be just as dark. So maybe that's a choice they made. I think it's whatever. I mean, I even know from Dante. Dante is staring into the sun right now with sunglasses. Am I wrong, Dante?
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, that's why I wear the glasses, is because I have like these lights beaming at me. So like, yeah, I mean, and you know what? It is what it is, and it's fine.
Yeah,
it's just
so what?
It's part of filmmaking or you know, any kind of media. Like depending on your skin tone, you got to be lit differently, right? So
Yeah.
I don't understand the big deal.
Yes, I don't get the big deal. I'm sure, she's a good actress. The trailer has been very well received, but this is not going away.
Like if I turn one light off, I would look very different on film if I turned one light off. So I mean, it's yeah. Anyway,
you would.
By the way, my little Asian daughter didn't feel seen in Snow White, and I appreciate them being that one Asian guy in the movie. So.
There was one guy at the end. One.
I think that was Chad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's my point. Stop listening to these people. This is why we're here now. Because not only were these people ignored in the past, but now they started listening to these people, and not only that, they're now working at these companies in video games, at film studios. Now they've got jobs where their voices can be heard.
But you know what, Chris? It might be too late. Like, it might be too late, to be honest with you.
It's too late for Disney, for sure.
Not if we let them do it. We got to go back to make it normal to laugh at people again. When they were in that writer's room, and we're going to chant the power of one, the power of two, the power of many. Like everyone should just start laughing.
No, but what I'm saying is, I think the damage is done. I don't know if the film industry is going to recover from this. I really don't believe that.
Yeah. Well, the problem is there are people. Hey, Paul, we were talking about your Daredevil video earlier. So, and he says Dante does not use white lights. Okay, well, thanks, Paul. Appreciate you. No, it's just the thing is, my point is, because I'm effing old. These people, and I went to college for all of 2.5 years, and I dropped out. Long story. Ironically, years later, I wrote a book, required reading for college. 4 editions of my Ultimate Film Festival Survival Guide. Look it up, whatever. My point is, these arguments have always been around. They're really unfun people to hang out with. They take everything very seriously, have no sense of humor whatsoever. They look at everything from a political lens, and they have been around forever, but they never had power. What's different now, they have power. Social media, blogs, other YouTube channels, and they work at the very studios that make these films. So now they have a voice. What I'm saying is, you're dumb if you listen to these people. Clearly, I think that Lilo and Stitch, I don't know about if the casting is pure. I don't know. Sometimes there's a purity test. Sometimes there isn't. Sometimes there's a purity test. Sometimes there isn't, for some reason. I would argue Little Mermaid, make a different mermaid tale. But there is already an African fable about a black mermaid. Alan, you're even aware of a Disney animation studio in Africa making a film for Disney.
They made a series, and it's already on Disney Plus right now. But they
Why have you not reviewed it?
Why have I not reviewed it? Because I'm busy.
You have a lot of movies to review?
I have a lot of movies.
Yeah,
I
it's all
just
good.
did.
It's all
I
good.
just reviewed 3 movies this morning. So
Nice. So all I'm saying is these people are they're like party killers. They're not fun to hang out with. They're dull and by the way, when I was in college, I used to fuck with these people all the time. I used to fuck with them all the time.
I thought you said with. I thought you were
no,
gonna say something else.
I would fuck with them all the time. They're very easy to get upset. I would fuck with them, and you know what? It was fun. I was to no one's surprise, I was an asshole in college.
But you know what? Like to Dante's point, all of this stuff
Alan
is
looks
destroyed
very
the
hard. I
entertainment.
defend him always.
All this stuff has destroyed entertainment. All of this stuff has made it not fun to go to the movies,
Correct.
like you just said. And that's the biggest issue. And now I think film studios are starting to feel it. They're seeing it affected in the box office, in the ticket sales. And so they gotta figure out what they want to do. I don't know if it's too late. It's probably too late to change courses and start just making good content. Good product is what customers want. We want something good for our hard-earned dollar. And if they can't give that to us, we'll go somewhere else. And now they're going elsewhere. They're going to anime.
If you just think logically, man, like the stuff we're getting right now is stuff that was already in the pipe, right? So once that pipe is cleared out, they got to start production, right? Brand new on something else again, which is going to take another 3 to 4 years.
3 to 4, yeah.
And can they last that long? Like making zero money? Like this isn't sustainable.
The theaters ain't going to last.
Yeah.
The theaters are not going to last with the content that we're getting.
Like when they talk about the Marvel resets, like, bro, we got to get to Secret. Like, good luck.
Yeah. They're worried about the Russo brothers because of Electric State. Like, everybody started to wonder. It's like, yo, Electric State's like 15% on Rotten Tomatoes. How's Avengers Doomsday looking right now?
Dude, I keep telling people, man, like the whole thing about the Russo brothers, the jig is up. Like they did great with Endgame and with Infinity War because they had a great lead up to it, right? They have no lead up to Doomsday or Secret War, so they're going to get exposed very soon.
Can I say something real quick? This is a tip for all my fellow YouTubers, and everyone out in the chat. And we'll go to supers, and I have another topic. There's some very big Marvel news dropping Wednesday.
Ooh.
I was told this very big Marvel news will be as big or possibly eclipse RDJ's casting as Dr. Doom. So Wednesday, we normally make our thumbnails for the week, the whole week, but Wednesday morning, tip everybody, you may be talking about something very big.
EST or PST?
I was told Wednesday.
Chris Evans coming back as Captain America.
I was told Wednesday there is big Marvel news. Pay attention, and that will be the topic of our Hollywood on the Rocks. Alan and I will discuss it. And I was not told what the news was.
I hope this news actually comes out.
What's that?
Hope this news actually comes out.
Well, the thing is, I was told it drops Wednesday. It's happening. It's bigger than RDJ potentially.
So it's casting. It's a casting.
I don't know what it is. Believe me, I prodded. Okay. This is, and by the way, reliable because I knew about RDJ as Doom months before it was announced officially. So,
and there's another part that we got told about that one meetup, Comic-Con, that the Russo brothers just talked about the angle for Doom and that like the best villains are the ones that thinks they're the heroes. And it goes right along with what we heard was the original reason he was coming back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's go to supers. And I have another treat.
Michael Lee for $4.99. Watched Pocahontas last night. We got this.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that.
Pilgrim Media for $2. That doc is complete cringe.
I still want to see it. I want to see it just to see maybe how that woman is probably in a poly relationship. Does that surprise anybody?
Yeah.
With her boyfriend or her husband has a boyfriend. I get weird vibes from her. A lot of those people that are like that and that are older and are not that attractive, they're poly for some reason.
She talks to trees for sure. Ragin' Cajun for 5. I'm going to open my own Galactic Starcruiser, and all of those people can stay for free. Only catch is they can never leave.
Ooh.
That's a horror movie plot.
Yes. Jason Webster for 2. Disney. Know what we're doing? We certainly don't.
Yeah, for sure.
ZG for 5. At the end of the day, there is no right way to do these live action remakes because at their core, they exist solely for profit extraction.
Precisely. I can't think.
Cash grabs.
Everyone always points to Cinderella as being the best, but there was no reason for any of these movies to be made. I've even heard people say, I don't know what you guys think of this. Why don't they just re-release Snow White in theaters?
It would have made more money.
Wait. Do you think if they re-release Snow White in movie theaters, you could see it on the big screen for the first time for many kids and families? How would that do at the box office with a big marketing campaign? I go to the Fathom events to see movies a lot, and I would love to see Snow White, the original 2D Lion King, Pocahontas, Aladdin. Just show me the original. Re-release it in theaters like an event.
4K re-release.
Yeah, there was something that released in theaters that beat a new movie coming out. I can't remember which movie it was.
Lord of the Rings, maybe?
I don't remember which one it was, but it was a re-release in theaters and it beat like one of the new movies that came out.
Yeah,
so there is like it's kind of like a callback to when Disney would put some of their animations in the Disney Vault and then re-release them, and so you have a little bit limited time to go and buy them. I mean, maybe there's a lot of people that are getting excited, myself included, for Revenge of the Sith going back into theaters. So you can go and watch that.
I can't wait for that. I'm going.
Yeah. Well, so am
Do you
I.
know
I
which,
love Revenge of the Sith.
Do you know which animated feature will make a lot of money if they re-release it?
What?
Song of the South.
Yes. Yes.
Woo.
It'll never happen.
It'll make a lot of money.
It would never happen, man.
Never.
But
you're right, man. Like
I have a Blu-ray.
Snow White would have made much more money. Much more
well.
money just being re-released, 4K remaster, whatever you want to call it. It would have made more money than this thing. This thing is flopping.
It would be funny if they had put the original Snow White in theaters, like re-release it in theaters before their live action one, and like if that one made more money than the live action, that would have been funny if they did that.
That would have been damning.
Paul in the chat points out that remember they didn't even do a proper 100th anniversary celebration for Disney. Like,
yeah,
no,
they didn't focus on any of their classics.
It was Wish.
Trash.
It was Wish was the culmination of all the into one movie.
Painful.
Like he said, they didn't do a proper 100 year anniversary. They didn't do it properly. That was terrible, man.
Yeah.
Wish. Golly. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Holding out for a wish. We got this one. If there's a next one, he's. Oh no!
I request. My request. Did we get CG? Okay, I'm gonna take that in. I request. Here is the trailer for the Song of the South 1986 re-release trailer. Have you guys seen this?
I haven't.
I haven't.
No.
I did see it in 1986 though.
I've never seen the movie, so
I never watched it.
I've seen it. I
own
love
the
it.
DVD, so
I've been on Splash Mountain a bunch.
I have a DVD. Okay,
Before.
let's watch this.
Walt Disney's classic Song of the South is back.
Zip, 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 zip-de-doo-dah, zip-de-yay. My, oh my, what a wonderful day. Plenty of sunshine heading my way. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. Mr. Bluebird's on my shoulder.
It's the truth. It's actual. Everything is satisfaction.
Zippity-doo-dah.
Zippity-yay.
My, oh my, what a wonderful day. Plenty of sunshine heading my way. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. My, oh my, what a wonderful day.
Walt Disney's Song of the South. My oh my, What a wonderful movie.
That's the problem.
They would burn those theaters down, dude. There's no way.
So? You know what's sad about
saw it
this?
in theater.
You know what's really sad about it is that the stories of Brer Rabbit and all those Uncle Remus tales, those are stories that actually survived the Middle Passage when you're talking about slavery. Okay, those are stories that are actually rooted from Africa, and they survived the Middle Passage, made it over here to America, and then they got told through these Uncle Remus tales. And Disney's just like, no, wipe them out, wipe them out. They care so much about diversity and about telling, cultural heritage and stories, and they just wipe those stories out. They just wiped them out with, oh, we don't want Splash Mountain. We don't want Song of the South. We're just going to get rid of all of that.
Yeah, because everything can be
really
explained
sad,
with it being problematic, right? All you got to do is throw problematic in front of it, and there you go.
Problematic for who is the issue?
It's
And
crap,
people we
right?
shouldn't be listening to anymore.
But see, that's the thing. It's like these are authentic stories from Africa, all right? Not race swapped Little Mermaid. No, actually from Africa, stories that actually should be told. The trickster character. These are stories that were developed and bred in Africa, and they survived the Middle Passage. They came over to America during slavery. Yeah, slavery was bad. We all accept that. But look, here's a little corner of actual African history that made it over to America and became something big. And they just want to wipe it out. They just want to get rid of it.
It's like this is the woke white women's way of handling it.
Yeah, man.
Is to subjugate and censor. When I was a kid, I watched, you can't find anymore, Amos and Andy.
Oh yeah.
It was hilarious. Kingfish was funny. They always had some crazy scheme and it would go awry. And it was a fun show. And all I thought was these guys are funny. I watched them. I watched Laurel and Hardy. I watched Abbott and Costello. It's like they were a fun duo. And the way to solve racist programming is to subjugate it. Yes, it's going to look dated in retrospect. I mean, the Three Stooges, you're probably a Three Stooges fan. Like, it's hard to watch that now because people say, well, look at the abuse. Look at Mo hitting Larry. But Larry deserved it. Everyone knows that. Anyways.
But the one thing about Amos and Andy is the studios were so progressive that when it went to television, they cast black actors in the main roles.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you go back to Song of the South, man. Like those actors, the hell that they went through, and I mean, just to see this movie just completely disappear.
Yes.
It's such a travesty, man. It pisses me off every time I think about it. They should have preserved that. That was a corner of history, of American history, all right, actual history that they should actually try to preserve instead of saying, oh, we're going to replace Splash Mountain with, Tiana and, the Princess and the Frog. That's not an African story. So why are you trying to rub out African stories from Disneyland and Disney World and all these other places? Let them stay where they are. And, you can say, these are different times, things were different, but we still honor those original stories where this material came from, where this content came from. It's brilliant. And the fact that they have just completely eradicated it from Disney's library, it's just a giant slap in the face, man. I hate it. I hate every bit of this.
It's erasing Walt Disney's legacy. And all of this. Look, and I don't mind if they want to, in modern context, put up some trigger warning for those who need it. Fine, but re-release it. Release it. Look, and it's pretty easy to find a Blu-ray or DVD of it rolling around. Yeah. But this is recent, and this is what I'm saying. Just being reminded of when I was in college, there were people like this, but they never had power. They would scream about a lot of this stuff, and you go like, well, but moving on, now they've been given power.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, to your point, when Mulan came out, I mean, that was based on an actual Chinese tale. And I remember going to a screening with a lot of Chinese grandmothers in it and just them enjoying it so much.
The cartoon
now, Alan, if they erased the Mulan and they say, oh, Mulan is problematic, we got to remove it out of the Disney library now. would that change your opinion on how Disney looks? I mean, you would.
Well, it
you would
depends
be
on what
probably-
China does in the next 20 years. Yeah.
Do you want to watch Alan sing right now? I'll trigger Alan with one line. What do we want? What do we want?
Man to woman, woman
No,
to man.
son. A girl worth
A
fighting
girl worth
for.
fighting
Come
for.
on.
Oh,
Girl worth
Don't you know you're Disney? What do we want? A girl worth fighting for.
yeah, good.
All right, back to
Amelia Perez ruined you.
sorry.
Yeah, I was thinking,
I
what
have-
what do we all want? Not just me.
Yeah.
What I want. Yeah.
Alan, you don't know Mulan? Come on.
Oh my god.
You
have no
bring
idea.
you dishonor your family.
Great a shame to film a threat. Jason Webster for 5. Disney, destroyers of beloved acquired IP since 2015 and acting careers since 2020. Yeah.
Exactly. Thanks, Jason.
Shang Tsung for 2. Wednesday's news. Eric Bana back as Hulk. Yeah. Hey, I'll take it.
Could happen.
Interesting.
Yeah, with bicycle helmet.
Imanogai no Paiwe for 199. Watched Invincible and writing my book instead.
Smart.
Nexus 6, member for 3 months. Big MCU news on Wednesday. Shang-Chi 2, finally, duh.
Look, I'm just repeating what my friend told me is going to happen. He said, be ready for Wednesday.
Yeah. And
So we are.
all right.
So we got
Daniel
a whole
Dustin Craig
thumbnail for it.
doing Spider-Man. So no Shang-Chi 2 because he's doing Spider-Man. Drake Timbershaft for $5. The word problematic is fingernails on a chalkboard to my ears. Yes.
Ugh, same.
I feel like Wednesday we're just gonna accuse the bait and switch.
Clickbait.
We'll see. We'll see.
Okay, all right.
John Orchard for 2. Johnny Quest was cool.
Hell yeah. I love Johnny Quest.
And Haji.
Haji was awesome. He was his friend.
I mean, Haji might have been a little racist, but still, I mean, it was fun.
Fun. Look at that. It was diverse. Isn't that what you want?
No, it's just all my friends named Haji. You know.
Yeah.
Thomas Anderson for $19.99. Oh, Neo. Between the ballerina trailer and Sydney Sweeney doing her thing, love how strong, powerful, beautiful women are taking charge of things. I would know. I fought with and loved one. There's no stopping them. He's talking about Trinity, of course.
Sydney Sweeney vowed to never stop doing nude scenes.
She did.
Bless her.
She vowed.
Thank you,
The
Mr.
hero.
Anderson. Thank you, Mr. Anderson. That's great.
Mr. Anderson.
All right. I have a treat for everyone as we wrap up today because Hollywood is screwed.
Oh, no.
If you have not
Again.
seen this, I want to get a group reaction. I assume many of you have not seen this. Do you know
I
about
have
this?
Did not see this.
I have absolutely
Okay,
seen it.
Steph,
Yeah,
have you seen this?
No.
This
I have
is
seen this.
This is a trailer
Look how excited
Right.
she looks.
for a movie.
I'm intrigued.
It is 100% AI. The music, the actors, the voice, the action, and we'll go through it. It was made over the course of a month by a group of AI filmmakers who now reached out to me. They've agreed to come on the show to do an interview, talk about their process. You don't think people at Netflix are looking at this going, holy hell? Or people at studios looking at this going, we can do this now?
That's
This,
scary. But
Justine
yeah.
Bateman is
know what?
disavowing.
the genie is out of the bottle. They are in trouble. Watch this trailer. I'm going to play the whole thing uninterrupted. It's 3 minutes. Okay. Please pay attention. Watch this. We'll talk on the other side. Here we go.
Oh my god.
Hi, you've reached Karen. Please leave a message after the tone.
Karen, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Shut up, Mom.
For Christ's
Oh, no.
sake, answer the question.
You fucking moron!
Didn't you wear that yesterday?
Hey, you sexy lady, come here.
Hi, this didn't fit me. I would like to return it.
I'm sorry, ma'am. We don't accept returns.
Let me talk to your manager.
The manager isn't here right now. He can't talk to you.
People have been stepping on me for too long.
Oh my god, a montage.
We deserve refunds. I'll track him down if it's the last thing I do.
What did I say about giving refunds?
Say hi to Reddit, motherfuckers.
Let me know if you want to start a loyalty card.
Sir, we have a problem.
Looks like motherfuckers saw half price. We have an unsatisfied customer. 俺がやる.
Oh my god.
I've been reading a lot about my rights as a citizen lately.
Charlize Theron?
What?
You know why.
This is crazy.
This is the new previs.
Oh my god.
I love it. I love this.
Oh no, it's a Karen army.
Yeah, deploy the camera.
Karen.
Ma'am, you know anything about an incident with a roller skater?
This is fucking harassment, and I will sue you.
That is so cool, man.
Oh my god.
Bravo, man.
Yeah.
Bravo.
That is so cool.
Well done.
That's insane.
Like the manager wearing the armor.
Okay, this is
I would
from-
watch this movie.
This is from the look up AI or Die show. AI or Die show. This took 8 weeks from concept to completion. They use VEO2 dialogue. There's different accounts. They have documented how they made it. They're a group of filmmakers all over the world. If this can be done in 8 weeks,
That's crazy.
by filmmakers that are aspiring, what do you think is going to happen when Hollywood has these tools?
Oh, it's over, man. This is over right here.
Think? Like right
It's
now,
over.
look, this is just now. What will it be like a year from now? With all due
Yeah.
respect, and look, handcrafted movies, they will be here. But if you can do that,
artist-
where does Hollywood? It's all about owning the data sets.
Yeah.
If they cast actors and they use their likenesses.
That's
or
what Ben
in
Affleck said. To replace
Yeah.
DVD sales, you would sell data sets.
a hybrid using AI with actors, you use their voices, but there was a controversy, Alan, you talked about it, where the Brutalist actually enhanced the Hungarian accents of the actors in the movie. They used AI. But where does it go? And if this is now by not studios, when the studios get this, what happens to the business? I mean, look, John Wick meets with Karen. I love it. It is ridiculous.
No,
But-
this is a game changer, man. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Facts.
crazy. Up until this trailer, I had a different idea of AI.
They were a joke. We watched them on the show. They're ridiculous. Yeah,
everything,
they were
dude.
fine. You could brush them off. You cannot brush it off now.
No, that's insane. That like not one real actor.
No one. Everything AI, 100%. Sound effects, music, voice acting, visuals, 100%. 2 months to make.
Oh, it's over.
Yeah,
It's game over.
It's over.
But when
It's over.
you say what will happen when Hollywood gets this? Well, Hollywood has it. I mean, if little indie filmmakers have it, Hollywood has it. And now, weren't they thinking about scanning in every actor?
They were.
They
Yeah.
do it now.
Yeah.
Or
And
like
so-
a second
They
unit,
already-
or
There you
for
go.
stunts. For stunts, they put the actor's
Yeah,
face.
they already do it.
They
Yeah.
already
Well, what's
do
going
it.
to
Before-
happen
before
when?
pickup
Scared right
shot.
now. That's why the actors are so against AI, because they already have their likeness. They can totally plug them in if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, when
Yeah,
when
like what's
studios
going to
make
happen when what's going to happen when regular people have access to this level of AI, where they could just
They
buy a
have it.
program?
They do.
I can buy a program. I can say, okay, I want a movie starring Scarlett Johansson and Cary Grant and Mel Gibson. Have it written by Quentin Tarantino, have it directed by Alfred Hitchcock. All of these various styles are built into the AI engine, where I can get whatever movie I want, make it a space opera, whatever. Like, what's going to happen when regular, normal consumers get this and they're just selling, oh, you want to, here's your night's entertainment. You want to watch a movie, you can put whatever actors you have off of this list and you can put it right into the AI. You can have it written by these particular screenwriters, this director, this cinematographer. You can pick everything and we'll give you, a 2-hour movie.
And
And
that's the same thing that happened in Star Trek. Everyone had holodeck technology, and you could put in any
holodeck, exactly.
But there are still famous holodeck writers because they do things that others can't, even though everyone has the same tools. I can go right now and start painting a picture, but I can't do a Bob Ross. There will always be people that have that little touch. That's what Robert's so worried about. There will always be people that have all the knowledge, and their creations will be better than everyone else's.
Oh, yeah,
and
sure,
that's the cream to the crop. Justine Bateman has a problem with this now.
But
She
me
doesn't have
personally,
access
as
to
an
this.
individual, I just want to make my own stuff, and then that will be my entertainment for me, personalized. Like a lot of people will buy something like that type of a program. They'll buy it. Yeah, I agree with you, Badger. I think the best, writers and directors and creators, they'll have this tool and they'll use it to their advantage, and they'll probably sell a lot of stuff, or maybe I don't know how that'll work. I don't know if they can
Video
get
games.
the right
Map creators. I could go right now and create my own maps, like very easily generation tools. But I still go play the most downloaded because the person that has the eye for it is always going to make a better, even though we all have the same access.
Yeah.
Here's what's going to happen next. What Hollywood is going to now, they have the technology now to do pickup shots in AI. I mean, can you imagine if they had AI when Henry Cavill had a beard and they needed him for Superman without a beard? Well, you can now do that in AI.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, where does this all go?
Tom Cruise doesn't hang on planes. He just has
Well,
an AI.
here's
Tom
what I
Cruise hang on the plane.
Never.
This is another nail in the coffin of movie theaters, right?
Well,
Yeah.
Tyler Perry.
And that's really what this is.
Tyler Perry famously got an AI demo, and he saw what's possible, and he shut down. He was going to construct a new studio. He stopped because of what he saw and what's coming. And Justine Bateman has been very vocal about AI, very against AI. The genie's out. You can't stop it. Look
and I understand her passion. I get where she's coming from. I mean, there's nothing. It's kind of like people who love vinyl records, right? I mean, the sound is a little different, whatever. But you can't stop technology, man. Like you can't. It's the beast, right?
Mm-hmm.
And here we are. AI is a thing now. It's a thing we have to deal with, and it's not going to go away. People aren't going to stop using it.
Yeah, but here's the problem. Young people are not going to movie theaters anymore, and AI is certainly not going to get them back in the theaters. You're losing your audience,
Mm-hmm.
and AI is not going to make things better.
I mean, Steph, you saw this for the first time. What are your thoughts, and what do you think?
Well, knowing that it is AI, it's still pretty. It's still obvious that it is AI, but it's done really, really well. I don't think it's at the point yet where it can 100% replace actors. I still think that there is, a lot that actors bring to roles that you can, emphasize. Sorry, that there's you can relate to those actors on screen. It can cause some type of emotion within you. That watching this, while fun and while incredible it is that they're at this point where they can make an entire trailer, it's still a ways away to replacing actors in Hollywood. I can see why they're really worried about it. But we're still a ways away. I don't think that it's at the point yet where you can look at a performance on screen with AI and be like, oh my gosh, it's a moving performance or something like that. We're still a ways away. Hollywood will see this and still be like worried, especially actors. But I don't think we're there yet to the point where they have to be super worried.
Well, but think about this.
I don't even think like in a year either we'll be there.
But think about this. Disney's Snow White, to bring it back to Snow White. If you use this technology with Snow White,
I understand that, but I mean, look at the dwarves right now with the CGI. They look
it was bad.
Creepy as hell, So I don't think that like they would take this and use it to its full potential. I think that it will still be really weird looking.
Weird.
Well, the character design for those.
Yeah, it's not there yet. 5 years, maybe 5 years. This is ready to roll. Yeah, right now, like you said, Steph, it's like a 3-minute trailer, and it took them how long? Like 8 weeks to produce a 3-minute trailer. That's a long time. So you got to multiply that times 30 to get to a 90-minute movie. So that's a long period of time.
Yeah, but you're also talking about guys. You're talking about guys who are amateurs, though. Like, get this in the hands of a studio, and it's going to be a lot quicker than that.
Yeah. Let's go to comments as we wrap up here.
Hey, Steph had to drop, by the way. I was just letting you know.
Okay. We got to go.
I'm good. For a little while. I'm good. I can stay through the end.
Wrapping up.
Jason Webster.
My dogs were going crazy, and I was just like, I needed to go see what's wrong with them, but they're fine. They've quieted down.
Good boys. Currently, girls. What? Boys, girls. Currently, Disney is achieving the same rate of success as the Ferrari Formula One team. Very little. Jason Cook for 10. They don't need to pay actors. They can use AI trained on actors' likenesses and voices to generate new characters.
Yeah, crazy. We will pay attention to this because to ignore it is you ignore AI at your peril. I think there's two things. One, how will studios use this going forward? Second question is, how will this empower indie filmmakers, the next George Lucas, the next indie filmmaker with a wild imagination?
That's who I think will take advantage of this. Our indie film, 100%.
Compete with studios with a $100 million looking budget for a movie, but it was done for a fraction of the cost. This is where I think because I believe, especially after having seen Disney's Snow White, the studios are creatively bankrupt. They're bankrupt creatively, and they'll be bankrupt financially if they continue down this path. But this will make things equal. Final thoughts, and we'll wrap up the show because
one more actually from Aaron. He gifted 5 Film Threat memberships. Shout out, Aaron.
Thank you, Aaron. Appreciate it.
Come on.
Awesome. And I want to thank all of you, everyone here. Tell us what you got coming up. I know you all have stuff coming up.
Check out the Nightcap Tuesdays and Thursdays. Also, you know what, Chris, share this if you don't mind.
Sure, of course.
Let me share this. So we've been doing our Action Heroes tournament.
Yeah, I heard about that.
We are now in the second round. We've gone through the first couple of rounds. So right now, here are the matchups currently, and we have about 12 matchups today. John Wick is beating Captain Kirk. I can't.
Shatner needs to know about this. Tag Shatner.
I'm like, wait a minute, and he's blowing him out. It's not even close. So I want some more votes in there. I just put this up an hour ago. So these are all second round matchups. John Wick versus Captain Kirk. We got Dirty Harry going up against Captain Jack Sparrow. I feel like Captain Jack should, be able to pull this up, but I'm rooting for Dirty Harry. He's one of my favorite characters of all time. Mad Max versus Snake Plissken.
Wow, he's being Snake Plissken? What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's a tough one because, Snake Plissken has, 2 movies? Mel Gibson, he has 3.
Yeah, but Snake was an actual operative in the military. Fucking Mel Gibson was a cop. Like, Mad Max was just a cop.
Yeah.
I don't agree with this at all.
Yeah, everybody get over there and vote. I want to see this kind of flip a little bit, or at least get close, because I think these are all 50-50 matchups, and maybe one goes 51%, 49%. And then the last one, Dutch is beating Ethan Hunt. 76 to 24%. I thought
I don't know, Schwarzenegger.
Look, you can't beat Dutch. You cannot look. He is in. I think out of all the Arnold characters I put in here, Terminator and Dutch, I think those are the two best. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, go over to my channel, start voting. This will be running all week long, and we'll get to the Sweet 16 by Saturday. But yeah, we're in the round of 32 right now. I'll have more matchups coming up. The tournament is going great. A lot of great comments, a lot of fun. So thank you, Chris, for putting that up there. Yeah,
of course.
Everybody get over there, check it out. I appreciate it. It's a lot of fun. I'm having a great time putting together this March Madness tournament.
How's Ray doing?
Nice.
Yeah.
Who?
Ray.
Yeah. Here you go, Ray versus
Dante. Plug your channel.
Yeah. All right, guys. You can follow me at Verbal Riot, Rumble, YouTube, X. I have a video coming out Thursday. It should be by Thursday, just about the film industry as a whole. You can catch me with George, the Giant Slayer, on Wednesdays at 1:30 PST. And you can always catch me Saturday nights with Yellow Flash and the boys, 7:30 PST.
Well, yes.
Stephanie Minority Home. You can follow me over on X, Instagram, and YouTube. Go and check out my Snow White video. It is very long, so probably watch it on 2 times speed. Leave a like and a comment in the comment section.
It's a great video.
Badgercast coming up right now. I've got the link in the private chat if you guys could post that. And yeah, we'll talk about all the things.
And we'll be back next week because the second weekend for Snow White, that is really going to be telling. Also, another chance to talk about Snow White. Just
and I'll have seen it by then because I'm going to see it Thursday. So I'll be extra angry. Yeah.
See you Wednesday with big Marvel news. You heard it here first. Big Marvel news, except I don't know what it is. So
Kang coming back. Jonathan Majors, the big return.
We'll see. All right.
That would be news.
Yeah, let's get out of here.